No clue. I gotta get this, I gotta at least get the ribs cut. And Billy used plywood floors. I might do something like that. Light ply, interlocking light ply. Okay, so I'm going to take these off. So we need to first put this thing back on it. There's a lot of work to do.
As I say, it's not really for the faint of heart.
I'm going to use this to make my templates in the light ply for the landing gear clips. Actually, I really need 16 regular plywood for that light ply. There you go. Okay. Yeah, these chrome nails don't go through that for some reason. Okay, so there. And there. Perfecto. Okay, we got a hole in this one, so we're in good shape. What happened to them nails? Galvies.
Some of them are in them templates.
No, these are the gold ones. The gold ones go in this, but the galvies don't work. There was one more galvy. There's another gold one.
Just drill a couple more in there.
But they don't, the ones in here don't work. Or maybe it was, yeah, there was 2 and 3, that's what it was. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, 2 more. 3 and 4. Okay. Migrated down and touched me. Got to have the dowel on it. I need help springing that bow. How did you do this by yourself? Very careful.
I put a stop up over here where I could push it up again.
Oh, I got the wheel on the wrong side. Here you go. Got the wires over on the other side. You're standing on.
I'm gonna put my shoe.
You need to turn it up for this bow. Is it 52?
Yeah, just way up there, way past 52.
Yeah. Good. Need to put this on this side. Just put down, back, and around.
Okay, we'll go straight down, and back and around, all the way around to the starting point.
Touching.
Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet. Touching.
Your back.
Coming up. Around the top.
You're ahead of me. Quarter. Half. Oh shoot. Stop. Oh man. Gonna have to clean that up. Have to go around again.
Go all the way around again. I'm at the front.
Yeah, make it down.
Starting to head back. 3/4.
Ow.
Halfway.
Back to where we were.
Back to where we were.
Just go around again.
Coming up. 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 Around the edge. Going forward. Something's dragging big time.
There it is. Coming back.
Come back into the hole. Back. And coming up to the hole. In the hole.
Yep. That wire's hot. If I let it go, it'll go right back down.
You gotta have this thing on the wheel too, because it won't pivot back and forth. Kind of holding it.
Yeah, but
Let me take this end off and you can pull it your way and that should pull that piece out with it.
okay, let's turn it over, I guess. Now the wire's stuck.
I gotta pull a well on each of it there, I guess.
Huh?
Push. Stop right there.
We don't have to go all the way around, do we? No.
No, but we will.
Why, there's nothing here.
Just for the GPs, there's nothing on this side either. It's down below the edge of the template.
Yeah.
Just in case there's something. Oops, shit. Forgot my plywood and my.
Well, you can hold the wire, can't you?
Oh yeah,
Do you have iron fingers?
doesn't take you long. You know, SIG used to core theirs out. They just went straight in the leading edge, and then you stuck a piece of 16th inch wood in that curve. You ready?
I'm at the back.
That back bottom.
Yep.
Come around the front.
Yep. Just in time for the wire to heat up. Okay, I'm at the leading edge.
Yeah.
Oh,
About 3/4. Halfway. 3/4 the way back. All the way in the back. Heading down.
that's it.
Down. Down. Okay.
I don't try to pull it out that end. Hey, some flash.
Yeah, that looks like a
Sailplane wing.
stall strip. Push on it.
So we're done with this bowl, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Old mallet.
Hey, aren't you gonna put your block back on it? Don't lose it.
I normally put them in that bag. I don't use them all the time. If I'm real close to the size, I just we don't need that.
You don't wanna clean it?
No, that's fine.
Okay, let me mark it. If you wanna leave on the floor, go for it, whatever.
Yeah, they like that sometimes. Don't need this wire anymore.
Okay,
I eat too much.
you ate too much?
Yeah.
Where's that bag? Where's the bag for the nail?
Wherever you put it at.
It was out here. There it is.
Still need.
No, they're in they were using gold as nails. Two gold, They must be back in here. Yeah, we can use those, whatever. Two of them. Okay. Nope, I got to mark this. No mistakes.
Cut that down from the same side as you cut the other one down, so.
Yeah. Can I get this open? It's gonna be this side. Put these back. Okay.
How about them trailing edge to trailing edge and get your mark.
Yeah, that's a good idea. This will be a foam wing without foam, except for this piece right here. Okay, we first cut it lengthwise.
And we need to do that overhanging.
Over there. kinda wondering if I ought to wait to work, well, I got some decent wood that I could build a wing
You
with.
know what? I can do this the same way.
That's how we did it.
I know this is how we did it, but I was having to stop it to keep from cutting all the way through it.
Oh,
And I can really do it this other way.
with the stock.
Yeah. Or I can even use that as a stop. So that's underneath.
Need the longbow again. You can't cut it with that. You can cut the other way with that.
Getting it out of the way. Be a pain in the butt sometimes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hold it, I can't grab that wire.
No, don't grab a wire. That wouldn't be a good thing. Move over there. I hate to have to be moving back and forth all over the wrong place.
I'm gonna turn this down now, right?
Yeah. Turned up a little bit. Okay. And it takes a little more heat than you think it does. I'm cutting airfoils. I want to go slow.
Yeah.
With stuff like this, I cut it sort of fast.
Okay. We're good to go. We got this part done. Now I just need to cut 4 ribs and we're done for today. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna build the boxes first and sheet over them and then cut them out like you like to do it. I don't normally do it that way, but because I don't have the opportunity to do it that way normally.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the core for that one, but we don't need that now. We need to when I brought this 1/8" plywood, I wasn't thinking. You got any 16 ply? The reason being is there's a 16 and it doesn't change the shape of this much. And there's a 16, so we're ended up an 1/8" longer. If I go an 1/8 and an 1/8, it's a 1/4 inch longer. And it's not perfect.
So what are you wanting to do?
I want to make these ribs out of 16 instead of 8. You got a 16?
Maybe.
If not, I'll just make them out of that. By the looks of Billy's plans, he's got a he didn't do it like I do it, you know, where you make the clip in here.
Right.
He's got a floor going back here.
Oh yeah, so he tied it into the leading edge and all that stuff.
Yeah, which would probably be a good idea to do on this particular setup.
How are you gonna tie that to the, you're gonna have to cut out that spar to tie that landing gear clip to the spar, right? You're not gonna leave it floating in there, am I correct?
It's gonna attach to this spar right here.
Okay, that's what I mean. Yeah, you got to attach those clips to that spar or you don't have any structure.
Right. But what I'm saying is, by the looks of his plans, I mean, this is a whole new setup. You know,
Right.
this ain't like I normally build like this. And it's not like he built, but I'd like to incorporate what he's done there.
See, I did my Takana like this. Of course, it had landing gear. It was a tricycle, so it had landing gear back in here behind the spar. So I ran a piece this and put a bunch of lightning holes in it, and then I ran my landing gear to where it.
Oh, wait a minute. No, he didn't.
See, all this is a big platform.
Yeah, I guess it is, yeah.
And then he looks like he did all these little clips.
Right, he did the clip plus the platform.
Yeah.
There's another view of it, right? Where the hell is it?
There's landing gear and landing
Oh, here it
gear,
is.
landing gear.
Yeah.
1/8" flat plywood, 2 required.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna do it. I can't, his airplane's 53 ounces. Do you think he put that much plywood in his airplane?
2 inches. Right.
I just don't see him putting that much wood and coming out, even with those holes in it.
Yeah, the holes aren't enough to amount to much.
Yeah, my tips, because I got those angled ribs, are gonna be way more scale like the flaps will come way out to here, but they'll only be that wide.
Well, this is the narrow wing.
Right. I mean, but look how much flaps on there.
When did we do this one?
Well, this airplane's been around since 2000, I think.
Doesn't have a date on it.
My stab is built just like this, but it's still pretty beefy. I mean, it's 3.5 ounces total. So what are you gonna do?
You took a solid piece of wood and cut it out and then
That's
put
what he
ribs
did.
in it, right?
Yeah, that's what he
I
did.
would have just made that in 5 or 6 pieces. I would have cut, stripped this piece, stripped this, and then put a piece in here with the grain running this direction.
Yeah.
This piece would have been probably the grain running like this. The tip out there with the grain running front and back. And just made that out of pieces. This would have had the grain running like that,
It wouldn't have been any lighter.
Well, it wouldn't have been any lighter, but I wouldn't have wasted this big piece of wood with all this section cut out. I'd taken that 3-foot piece and just stripped 4 pieces off that size and still had a half a sheet left of wood. See what I'm getting at? Use half the wood. You're still using the same in the end, but by stripping it, I had 3/8 by 3/8 times 1, 2, 3, 4 off a 3-inch wide piece. The way you did it, you wasted that whole 3-inch wide piece, and you got these sections. It's all the sections in here that you throw away or you put in the scrap box.
Yeah. That's how I would have done it. One light pieces.
Yeah, you're adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 glue joints. You're saving 16 glue joints. I mean, if we got tons of wood to play with, that's one thing. But in this day and age, when we don't have a lot of wood to play with, we got to start looking at using wood in a different manner. You're doing this. You're making these narrow like this. That's about 1 inch. Yours are using an 1/8 inch smaller than that.
Mine are 3/4, so it's 1/4 plus. But I'm gonna leave a little hang
You're
over the
gonna
back.
leave it hang over.
Yeah.
I don't leave no more than 1/8 inch.
Yeah.
Because an 1/8 inch will probably be too much. Okay, so I put the strip of wood on the trailing edge, have it on there, and then just pin another piece of 1/8 inch on there and use that to set that.
Mm-hmm. But my wingtips are gonna be more scale-like than those.
Mm-hmm. It'll make the wing look smaller, not necessarily be much smaller.
I
I
think
know you got to watch out, trimming them down on the wingtips, because I got did on that Takano, man, and I lost a cheek pot full of wing area.
I'm thinking about, well, see, this is 30 inches right here. This is 60 inches without tips on it. So if you add 2 on each side, that's 64 inches. And then there's some honking
You
wing
got
tips.
some 3-inch tips.
66-inch wingspan. So, but my cradle that I have is cut back like that, so that this is 58 inch. So we're going to add 58 and 6 is what? 61.
64.
58.
And 2 is 60.
Yeah, all right, 64. Okay, so I could make a 58, 59, 60. I could make 2-inch tips. 2 inches out this way and then start bringing them around that way. But I'm going to do them molded tips.
Yeah, but you want this to only be a 60-inch span?
58, I like it. keep it as close to 58 as possible. See, my Tucker is 58.5-inch wingspan, and I used 4-inch wingtips on that. So I'm going to try to stay to that same platform. But I use solid wingtips, you know, and they were light when they were done, but they're not going to be near as light as a molded tip.
Depends on the chunk of wood that you got. And you don't have any more of that unobtainium stuff, do you?
No, I don't.
Well,
Okay, let me mark these out for where the landing gear goes. Now, this is a kind of a total redesign of Bill's airplane.
yeah, it's not really a lot like this. It's like it, but it isn't.
So this will get cut away. Where's that ruler? One inch. So the landing gear clips go right here. I'm going to try to make this as nice as Thunderbolt 3.
Break out the sandpaper.
Thunderbolt 3 at 60 ounces. Let's see, I want it to sit back in that spar 1/8 of an inch. So I need those like so. Put this up here. Maybe more there. Why did that turn out like that? Okay. So we'll make this so. And this. Get in there as far as possible. Well, I might as well just leave this like so. Is that right? No. I'm gonna be over here. Where's that detail from the side? Well, he didn't have much in there, does he? He got it way down low. It's low in there. So it's less than halfway.
Yeah, here's your center line. Mark.
Right, it's less than halfway.
You want it less than halfway because if you go over halfway, then you start, if you move your lead out really far forward, you might be into it. So he's a good 1/8 inch below the center line.
Okay, there's the center. Once I get this plotted, it'll be better. I mean,
Yeah, I always make them cutouts wrong the first time I make them, and then I have to redraw them, redo them.
okay, so now we got plenty of wood there. I need it. What happened to the cap to this? I need a different color pen. There's the cap. I can use that red pencil there. Let's see, we got 11 watchers again. Nobody chatting.
Come on, chat, guys.
Okay, so
Super chats. Talk to us. Let us know what you're
that's
thinking.
the center line. We can come this way and then back over this way. Okay. Oh, the best thing to do is just start cutting. Hope I
The
get it.
thing I always do wrong, and here's what I do wrong, just to let you know. I don't leave enough meat right here. Once I make this cutout for that platform to sit in there, I don't leave enough meat in here on this hole. So this hole's got to be like where that red line is
Right.
if your cutout's in here.
Right?
So you got to draw it up right, as long as you don't cut on the wrong mark.
That's why I changed colored pens.
Yeah.
Let me get this kind of roughed out here. Nope. I can file that. Okay, the drill bit now. Just all the way down.
No. There's a difference.
Well, put them all the way out to the top.
I moved them out one hole.
Start out big.
Nah,
Go big or stay home.
It's not missing much.
Go big or stay home.
We're not even filming over here. You guys there? You guys tired of looking at the wall?
Yeah.
Get back over here. Sorry, guys.
They were watching me cut, or maybe they weren't.
And nobody's saying anything.
Nope.
I guess you're a little upset. Sorry about that. Here's the difference between stock and modified. Bottom one is stock, top one's modified. Needed more holes out here, wider spacing, so I went ahead and made 4 more holes in it. Might not ever use those, but as it stands, the way it was working out was I needed something more. So we're going to try this.
What do you say?
I was showing them what I did to that handle.
Somehow we're gonna have to take an eighth of an inch off each side of that center section. How are we gonna do that?
And plug it back in the hot wire cutter and cut an 1/8 inch out of it. That's what I think to do it.
I could have got by with a 16th, but I don't think I can get by with an eighth. That's a quarter.
I think you need some gluing surface there,
I know, but that makes the core a 1/4 inch longer.
Yeah, I know.
Can't have that.
Cut out whatever it takes, an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch off of it. Whichever side you need to cut off, an 1/8 inch off each side or whatever. I'm gonna look at that one from Bauer that the Harbor Freight has. It's smaller diameter than that one. Might be easier to work with.
I got one of these and 2 of the originals. I like my originals way better than I like this one.
Oh yeah, I got original. The one hanging up there. I got a flex shaft on, but I think the speed controls One of them, I got the speed control doesn't work on it. I sort of like the end of the flexible shaft because it's, it's a little, it's only about 5/8 of an inch in diameter and it's real easy to manipulate and stuff. But it eats up the power real fast, the flex shaft does. Is that light plywood or is that? That's good.
Light plywood. It'll be fine. So this, I wonder if these are the same. If they're both the same, then I can just trace another one of these out. But so, let's see here. See, it's a little proud. I'll have to sand that off.
Does it change this location here? Well, that landing gear comes out way up there on the leading edge, doesn't it?
Yeah. We have to clear the lead outs.
Well, he doesn't have the bell crank that far forward, does he? He got the bell crank back at the high point of the wing or behind it.
Yeah.
4 inches back from, 5 inches back from the leading edge.
You gotta have it that far forward though. Okay, so you see what I mean? How much longer it's gonna be?
Oh yeah, 1/8 and 1/4 inch.
Yeah. So we need to cut this off.
Just
Now wait.
cut each side off 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
We'll just set it over here and
Each side
lay it
this.
down. Yeah, each side of it.
I
You
want
want to go shorter towards the center or shorter towards the outside?
center. Let me see here. I want to make sure. I want to see.
You would pick the hardest part to cut off.
Yeah.
It's easier to take the 1/8 inch off here and here.
Yeah. Go ahead and take out. So we got. This is 2. 2. 2. 2. This is inboard. 2 inboard. 2 inboard. Let's see if this will fit for 2 outboard. I gotta make sure to put them on the same side,
Oh yeah.
which is gonna be the green line side.
Well, once you glue that in there, you'll be sanding it
Yeah.
to the core anyway.
2. Yep. So I can make a duplicate of this.
Should be able to. They're all cut off the same template and
Right,
everything.
but don't cut that until I get that traced out. 2, because that'll change the shape if you cut an 1/8 inch off. Okay, so we got.
So you want to cut the 1/8 inch off the inside piece.
Yeah, I think that would be best. What do you think?
It doesn't make much difference really. You got a kerf there, you're gonna have, it's gonna be probably more than an 1/8 inch. You know, and
Make it 3/16 and the kerf will make up for it. So this is 2 outboard. 2 out. Everything just takes time, guys. That's all this shit is. We put in a little more than an hour today. Which I always do on the weekends anyway. Okay, so that's 2 out. Trace up a 2 in. 2 out.
it's inboard.
2 out. Create this. What did I just do with that rib? One I was patterned that. One that goes here. This is 2 out.
I don't know what I'm doing with it.
Yep. Nope.
Gotta be over there by the soil or something.
Shop ate it. Yeah, I was grinding on it.
Here it is.
So we use this one. They're close.
Well, yeah, you only got a taper. You got a 2-inch taper in 3 feet or something like that. You're only gonna be, those are 2 inches apart. You're only gonna be a 1/16 of an inch difference. That makes it nice to have that cut out done.
Okay. not even gonna cut the insides out of the outboard one. Big solid one.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's weight.
Huh?
It's weight.
Yeah, that means less chip weight.
Yeah, but you always better be able to put it where you absolutely
Yeah.
want
You know how light my Monado is, right? None of the outboard ribs are cut out. None.
it. And you still got 3/4 of an inch to take over those inches. Craig was asking me how to tell how much tip weight to put in. I said, well, turn your airplane upside down, add enough weight to the outboard wingtip until it starts to drop to the table, and then you put a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an ounce into it. I wish they had a quick release on the front of it where you can just flip it up. And
Yeah, but my saw's like this at home too. Same shit.
that's the old design.
Old design for old guys. Okay.
I wish I had that Rockwell salt working. That thing's got a throat on it about 24 inches deep, maybe 30 inches. It's a huge. It's got a gearbox. Something wrong with the gearbox. Them students where I got from Chaminade School. Students did something to it, tore the gearbox up on it, and they had it all apart. Didn't put it, lost all the parts and pieces. Of course, they don't make that stuff anymore.
You know, I've never worked in a motorcycle shop with a sandblaster, got the glasses and sandblasters.
Yeah. Pretty stupid, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't.
Let's turn it up here and see if it's working.
Close enough. So this is 2, 3, or no, 1. 1 inboard. Okay, you can, not doing this other one, you can figure out what you think is best.
It really doesn't make any difference, you know. It shouldn't change the size of anything. It's your build. Wherever you want it gone at. If you want it gone on the inside piece, we'll cut it on the inside piece. You just can't take it all off one end of it, cause that will change the size there.
I can't. This is 2, so this is 1. This is 2. There's a
Hair difference?
yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, probably will be. And it's not laser cut or nothing.
No, I mean it changed it, but well,
You're gonna glue them in there, and then you're gonna sand them to the outside shape of that core, leading edge core anyway.
right.
If it was Bob Hunt, he'd cut an extra 1/8 inch off of them all the way around and add a piece of 1/8 inch wood to it.
Well,
But I don't know. I tried that. It's a pain in the butt. By the time you get it glued on, that piece of wood saturated with glue.
this will be fine. Trust me.
Oh yeah. It'll be fine. I just would have these glued in here first before you went and cut in
Oh, yeah.
this out of there, so it doesn't wanna.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have the spar glued on and everything before I cut. This will all be a solid piece before I cut that apart.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this and then let's put that together. We're gonna get this set right in here, right exactly where it goes.
Yeah.
We're gonna tape it down. Since it's already sort of break loose. This is flush with the end here. I don't wanna push it in where the depth's going.
Put this back on. Put that back on. Why did this? There we go. You know, we're going way overkill on this. Being accurate.
Probably, you could probably just take that centerpiece and take your finger and run it around there and sand it, either an inch off of it, or a quarter, or whatever.
But you got the hot wire, so we'll do that with the hot wire. And then we'll put the core back on. Did we have the core on it? No, we didn't. Yeah, either way, if you wanna, just make sure you cut it, if, you know, don't move them down this way.
Right, what we need to do is just I'll cut it both on this piece.
Actually, no, I use this to trace, so this is gonna be the correct size you wanna cut on that side and that side, outside. You know what I mean? Cause I use that as the pattern, so if you cut that, it'll change the shape.
That's right. It's actually wrong, because the pattern should have been made to this side, and the pattern should have been made to this side. The larger side of the cutout. You know what I mean?
This is already larger, it'll be fine.
Well, you mark off here where you want it cut. That's a big tip, and we'll get some straight lines on there.
Down to the cap for this. There it is. 2 out, this is 1 in, 2 in. Wait a minute, let's go. 2 out, 2 in. No, this is 1 in. God, confusing. 1
Yeah, it can be.
in. I might build this, glue all this up by itself, and then put the floor in there, then glue it in here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I would like to have that floor in there at least. That leaves a little curve, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna leave a little curve. But you're gonna cut the tip off?
Look. Yeah, but it's gotta fit in the cradle, right?
Right, that'll be
My other wing is exact copy of this one.
close enough. So we want to set the templates up to this side of this one.
Yeah.
And this side of that one. Okay, so you don't want the curve coming this way any farther, and you don't want the curve coming this way any farther, so
Okay.
as far as you can. So we'll set the templates up to
Okay.
that side. I don't have wheels on.
Ready? I'm gonna cut on this side right here.
Yeah.
So you gotta stop.
Same.
Huh?
Same. So I got bottom stop. Exactly. Let's see, you're gonna cut it off this piece. Cut it
This piece.
to the left side. Okay. I'm gonna get it right.
Here. Okay, let's check it out and see if it fits. I hope so. Oh, boy. Macon, Georgia. Hello. Yeah, what's up? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 13.6. Yeah. 14.5 seems real good. Right? Right?
14.5s are PA 65 size props.
Right. That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna drill it anyway for my prop extension. All right. That'd be great, Allison. Yeah, I'm not interested in that, sorry. Yeah, I'll ask her. I'll ask around, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Those two items will sell on Stunt Hanger.
Pretty quick.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Bye. Well, he can't find a CAD panel, so. Oh well. But he does have the most important part,
The wood.
the wood. Oh, I see. I don't think I'm gonna be doing this part online, because it's gonna take some serious thought.
Yeah, you don't want to muck up on that because that all ties into this bar. You could create a whole heck of a lot of work for yourself. You got that misaligned.
I
And
think
all
I'll
that.
use 30-minute epoxy.
Yeah.
I got plenty of time.
Get away from that 5 minutes stuff. Yeah, let it dry overnight. Keep an eye on, babysit it.
That turned out pretty good. Right length. Okay, so I only got to do 2 more. So this is 2. This one goes here. So this is not gonna fit. It's all right. This is inboard. Mark it. Or yeah, inboard. Why didn't that fit down there? Got it on backwards? Oh, I hit the wrong one.
The wrong one. Put the small end on the big end.
That's inboard.
2 green lines or 3 green lines on that end of it.
Yeah, 2. Inboard. Yeah. This is the outboard line. Take that one up. We're done with that one. I'll just make the spars at home. Okay. Cut this one, then we'll make another one. When I got that off, I might as well go ahead and drill it. I don't have to do it but once or twice. Don't want to do it 3-4 times. More 13.6 propellers on the way. And no, guys, I don't sell 13.6 rev ups. I had one guy say that I said that I would send him one, and I never said that. I just don't sell those props. They're too hard to come by. I probably got enough to last me a lifetime, but you just never know. loose on me. Okay. Let's see how it fits. Anybody saying anything? Oh yeah. Afternoon, Sparky and Big John. Hope things went well this morning. Nice. Sure, in nice southern Florida, but took the day and off retired. Y'all know. That's all parts can do that. You bet. Clouding up fast enough. What's going on? Nothing. I've been in and out, but still enjoy watching you build. Okay, Gary. Thanks. I'll explain it all here in a minute when I get this other side done. Well, I wasn't going to cut these out, but I ended up doing it anyway. Force of habit, I guess. So this is two top, or two out. So that one goes there. I ended up cutting it out anyway. But it's way big, right? Yeah, it's way big. That's what happens when you crate one on top of another.
Yeah. You make everything bigger.
So we'll fix her up here.
Recase it and sand it down the line. I tell you don't like those fine point markers, but I love them things when they're new.
They don't draw on wood with a shit. I like ballpoint pens when they work.
They leave a groove. They're too hard pointed. Those sometimes, if you leave it set for too long, they make a wide line.
We're done. I'm done.
Hey, you gotta turn the back on, man. I think it blows the dust around. Well, it's going to change size depending on which side you cut that on, and it can change sizes a little bit on you, you know what I mean? If you cut that off that centerpiece that you got it on right now, it'll get the centerpiece will get bigger.
Yeah. We screwed up. I need that other wing. Where'd that other wing go? I gotta take that other one out of there and break it. Number one. So it's this one here. One out. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother cutting a hole in it. I did end up doing that one, but it won't matter. I mean, it's like nothing. What?
Nothing. Nothing.
This is the one that takes the most abuse on landing anyway. This is the one that the block is glued to. Hot board. Should have given some weight. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it out.
If you're looking for 58 ounces, you know, you're going to have to take every bit of those things out of there that you can take out of there. That's how I see it. And then only add weight where you need to add weight. You know, that's the key to all of it. It doesn't seem like much. That little piece of wood you take out of there, what's that thing weigh? The cutout.
Well, this one weighs 2 grams. This one weighs 0 to 1.
It won't hardly even weigh it.
That goes here. But if you do that 10 times,
That's right. And grains add up.
it'll weigh the amount of glue I got to put in it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's worth it.
Can't get away from that.
I bought this super cool pilot. It cost me $30. It's a World War II pilot. He's a little on the big side, but I think he'll be close to scale. A little bit. He's about the same size that I have in my Tucker. But
Just remember, pilots were small in those aircraft because those were huge fuselage airplanes, and
Yeah.
the pilots looked little in them.
I know, but he's just too cool to pass up. But there's a problem with him. He weighs 1.5 ounces. Now it is a bust from here up. So if I cut him up to here, that'll probably take 1/2 ounce, but that's still 1 ounce. But he's very intricate. You know, it's really, you know, he's got a bomber jacket on and a thing. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting some of that super soft pink mold shit, not the stuff that we got. There's one more that I have a mold in there to mold them spinner nuts with. It's really rubbery. Mold them and then see if I can get some of that plastic that you put in there and you roll around. We couldn't vacuum form him because he would never release.
Yeah.
Because, you know, his collar, it's got reverse, there wouldn't be any relief in it, you know.
Is he hollow? He's hollow, right?
Yeah. I figured I'd mold him and then make a plaster or, I don't know. Here, I'll show you a picture of him. I don't have a picture of them on my phone, but I'm sure
Is
I
it
could.
from that place that's got the ad, all the G.I. Joe looking dolls and stuff on it? From them?
I don't know. Where's my phone? I know I had it because I was, there it is. Same place I got that kitty girl from.
Okay.
Dick, the model airplane pilot.
I didn't get that.
Dick, Williams Brothers pilot.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Try tapping above to edit.
God, this thing is stupid. World War II airplane pilot figures.
I found this on the web.
I don't think it's Williams Brothers that does
It's
that
not.
pilot.
No, what's
It's
it?
Air Aces or something like that, or
Warbirdpilots.com.
I found this on the web.
Well, this is a 1/5 and 1/6. These are too big.
so you're actually about an eighth scale.
He looks something similar to that. He looks something similar to that, only he doesn't have his mask on.
Mm-hmm.
That's as big as it ever go.
Yeah, they make some nice looking pilots, man. They got a lot of scale detail, but like you say, the weight.
1.5 ounces. And there's no way I'm gonna put that in my airplane. That's like throwing 1.5 ounces away. I'd rather take a Williams Brothers pilot,
See, it's 12-inch tall. That's a G.I. Joe.
but that's not what I said. It looks something like this.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
He's only from there up.
right, but if it's this guy, just a bust.
Well, I don't think he'd be 12 inches tall. I think he'd probably be 9 inches tall.
I mean, you pull rolling plans out there. I saw a picture the other day. It showed a pilot standing on the wing of one of these.
There's no fuselage.
There's no fuselage. Yeah. Well, anyway, he was standing on the wing and his head come to about the top of the canopy. Or thereabouts. Maybe a little bit below the top of the canopy.
So he'd be a regular small Williams Brothers
They're
pilot.
little. This is a huge airplane, huge fighter airplane. If you look at this airplane opposed to a P-51 or P-40 or...
Yeah, I know. They go right inside it.
Oh, yeah. By a goodly margin. This was a tank of an airplane.
Yep, we lost a little wood there. Oh, well.
Oh, you need that one here,
Huh?
You want to do that after you cut those grooves out?
Cut what grooves out?
You gotta relieve that foam for that to fit down in there, right?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna sand it. Gotta be closer than that anyway. You know, we're only taking a couple right now.
TLAR method.
Yep,
Works.
it'll be fine. Okay, let's cut it off. I don't want to have no lumps on the wing where that is, so it's got to.
When you get it all glued together, you're gonna sand it off flat anyway. That's it. I bet you that pilot right there is about the right size.
Yeah, the pilot that I got is the same size pilot that's in my truck. Next size bigger. Whatever that happens to be. Okay, let's
Fifth scale or sixth scale or something like that.
one out.
My dad did a Bearcat. It's the same thing. You look at a Bearcat's got such a big fuselage. You look at the pilots in a Bearcat, they look like little dolls in there.
Okay, so move this on here like so, and this over here like so. We gotta taper together. We get it like, now we get it like this.
Shit.
Huh?
Too much shit.
Okay, so
You remember which sides you cut off?
I cut it off. I didn't cut it on this. I cut it on this.
Both times?
Yep. See, this is what I don't like about these.
Well, if they're not new, they got a tendency to do that if you lay them down screwed up.
You don't wanna write.
It's enough. You got a mark there.
I don't have one back here though.
You, that's enough.
Yeah, we're not building a watch. You're on the vise again. You're hung up on the vise again. If Hunt were watching this, he'd probably say, dummies! Whatever.
I don't do this for a living. I do it enough to
Get in trouble.
get in trouble, make some mistakes.
It's gonna work.
It'll come out just fine.
Yep, it'll come out just fine. Perfect. Danny's probably going, I got a jig that'll do that.
It probably does. I know he does.
He's a good
Well, what I'd like to have is, you know, if I had a setup, I'd have angle jigs like Danny's got and all that stuff. I just haven't spent any time trying to mess with it because it was just for me. You know, he did it commercially or semi-commercially or whatever. Bobby Hunt does it commercially, RC and control arm.
You know who's a good foam cutter, believe it or not? Chris forgot it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got some Chris Gunny stuff. I got a phone call over there that I won in the contest. One of his airplanes. I said I was going to build it, and I haven't built it yet. I will. One of these days.
So one is here. Two is here.
Right in there like a glove.
So this is the, was this the first one we cut or the second one? I guess it doesn't matter because he's not gonna slip back in there.
in from the end anyway. Won't fit. Still won't fit. You blow out the leading edge. You can't jam it down there. It's gotta come from this way, and you can't use it when you glue all that stuff together.
Yeah, I know.
So you're gonna be at the mercy of whatever you're doing there.
I just won't put too much pressure on it.
Don't wrap it.
I might stuff newspaper in it.
Don't wrap it real tight. You know
It's
what
not
I
gonna
mean?
get wrapped at all. Gonna go in this foam core and get weighted.
Well, that's probably better because you won't really.
It'll be molded on the buck that I have.
Yeah, and then keep this stuff in there if you can.
No, I have.
Oh, you got a leading edge buck?
I think I took that.
Yeah, but you're gonna be molding it on that, but you're gonna be gluing it in this.
Right.
When you glue it on there, I'd leave all those parts and pieces in there and shim them with 16th or whatever you're molding,
Yeah.
like you normally do with a core, and do it like that. And you shouldn't have a whole lot of. You got a 3/8 inch wedge right here. You're gonna be putting pressure on here and here and here. All this is gonna be doing is just sort of floating out there. It'll be just fine.
COVID. Got done what I needed to get done today.
Like my fancy centering rule.
I wanted to do mold bucks today, but I figured this was more important.
Well, you can do the mold bucks at home in the evening and then let them dry overnight. It'll take in this one.
Well, guys, you didn't learn anything today. You just wasted time with us. But I really appreciate you watching.
Yeah, you never know. You gotta sort of see a flailing around.
I wish my
Going
finish.
forward.
Let's see what he says here. Checkerboard. Listen to the chat line, and the majority knew what happened. Said with a couple more. Let's see. Afternoon. Okay, so here we go. Here's the chats. Clouding up fast enough. We read that one. Listen to the chat last night, Sparky, and the majority that knew what happened said what a couple more coats of clear before color sanding, and you would not have sanded through the checkerboard on the stab, which I didn't, and would win first place for sure. They figured you built so light, even with Kevin Holling, you're good. With a couple more ounces of clear, you still could have been lighter than the first place plane. Yeah, that's true. They said if you do that, you will take first next year for sure. No, it's not for sure. I loved it, but didn't get to go personally, but I did watch your plane. Definitely was one of the best. Thank you, Greg. Wish my finish we have as nice as yours. Love building, hate covering. Hope next year you get a first. Not happening. Let's see what it says here. I did learn something today. Well, that's good.
Well, it's great that you learned something, but here's the deal on concourse. Concourse is subjective.
Popularity contest.
And whoever the two judges are, whatever they like in their mind, one guy, I've heard people say all sorts of different things. I don't like panel lines. I like panel lines. Panel lines are great provided they're scale. Well, these aren't necessarily scale airplanes, so why should they be scale? Do whatever you want to. Personally, I like to try to make them look sort of scale, like a real airplane would be. No toilet figures and stuff like that on there.
Now, my other Thunderbolt 3, sat on the front row 3 years in a row. It was nice.
Very scale looking airplane. Had all the little panel nomenclature on it and all that stuff, access hatch nomenclature and everything all done up real nice. Now, that's all good and well, but if it didn't have a shiny finish on it, sat in last place. But it had a shiny finish on it, and you put that plane weighed 70 some ounces.
70.
Yeah. And you didn't like it because it weighed 70 ounces.
That's right.
So
It flew good, but it just too
well,
much.
they do whatever a 70-ounce airplane does.
Right.
They turn and then they drop. And you can see it, even in the top guys can hide it maybe a little bit better. They loosen up the turns and don't make them so hard. And they fly them through them so accurately that you don't notice that as much. Whereas a young, an less experienced person, I shouldn't say inexperienced, but less experienced person won't fly it through as cleanly. You can finesse these things and make them look better than what they are flying. Good pilots do that. Just like them guys in the wind. They're making it look like there was no wind out there.
Let me tell you something. Even if I would have made top 5, which is not going to happen, and it was my turn to fly, I would have not flown in that wind. No way.
Now we got some anemometers, and we're going to start keeping track on the wind that we're actually flying in. And believe it or not, there's been some days we've been out here at the field, the anemometers read 5 miles an hour, and we're going, that can't be right. It's a lot blustier than that.
5 to 50.
But it was only picking up 5 to 10. If that's what it is, and we're going to have to start flying, in that kind of weather, up to 15 miles an hour or better. And
Well, there's a difference between the wind where we fly and the wind at the Nats. The one where we fly is like this, and then that's a straight one.
Well, yeah, we're in a hole. And it comes zipping down in that hole and does all sorts of things. Then you get the thermal effect, messing around with it. And
See, when I flew my last flight at the Nats, I know that was 15 miles an hour,
oh yeah, probably was.
but it wasn't as bad. If it was 15 miles an hour here, ain't no way I'm flying.
No, it was 15 miles an hour. I bet you when I called my second flight off,
Oh yeah.
it blew my airplane out. I couldn't fly it in that. I'm not experienced enough. I thought I was pretty experienced, but it's a heavy airplane, and you got to fly it bigger. You got to fly smoother corners, and I didn't know what it took, and wasn't proficient enough of a flyer to fly in that kind of wind. Plain and simple, I didn't have it. I need to practice in more wind. I need to, build a lighter airplane. I can't help but believe that a lighter airplane will help you fly in the wind because it's not yanking you all over the place. To a point, I wouldn't want to fly a Nobler with a 35 in it in that wind. It would be ludicrous to even
Your
try
Jiffy
to
Noller
use
will
it.
pull that no problem.
Maybe.
No problem.
I don't know that I would want to try to fly
It'd be
it.
easier to fly than your airplane.
Maybe because it's not yanking me out of the circle. If it would penetrate. Now,
It
my
will.
airplane was coming around. It's got a 65 in it, and it's coming up when it goes, I think I can, and you're really having to control it to keep it there,
You know what you do with your Nobler?
or it wants to just whip around.
The wind
man.
picks up like that, you put a 6-pitch prop on it. Go down in diameter and up in pitch.
Get more drive.
Yeah, it'll go right through that wind. That 32 will zip right through there like it's nothing.
It probably would, yeah. That's got more power than a Fox 35 does by far.
Oh, at least.
Probably more power than a lot of 40s.
I think
I
you got enough
don't
power
know.
to 60.
I don't know that I'd want to be flying a Bronco, and I mean your airplane's bouncing up and down 3 feet, and you're just trying to hold it level. And those guys are actually flying level in that, and their airplane is bouncing up and down, but they're making it look level by quick reflexes and everything else, and reading that wind exactly and practice. A guy lives in Oklahoma City, Tornado Alley is going to be a lot better wind flyer than somebody from Dayton, Ohio, that doesn't get a whole lot of super winds.
I got 12 flights for the year.
Yeah, and you're not proficient in the wind either.
No.
So it's practice. Used to be, when I was a kid, nobody went flying if there was any wind, hardly at all. I mean,
Right.
you just didn't go.
Huh.
But now you got to look at it. If you want to go to contests, you better learn how to fly in the wind because it's going to be blowing. And 5 mile an hour winds seems like a lot when you're out there in it. That's barwood.
1 ounce.
I don't think you can get by with anything less than an ounce for a spar.
1/8 inch.
60-inch long piece, 2 inches by
This-
1/8.
Yeah, it'll be 1 ounce when it's done.
You'd have just a little slot cut out in the end of it, one end of it.
And a big hole in the center. Plus you get the basswood. This is enough wood for one spar. I'll probably use this piece right here, if, I don't know, you
It's
know,
got the best green in it, whichever one's got the best. You probably have to cut one out of each one of them, cause it may relieve enough that you can't get them.
right, that's why I brought two. But they're 1 ounce a piece, so I'm gonna cut off.
Weigh 'em up, balance it out, cut off the heavy end, and
I'm gonna cut off that much of each one. Plus, I'm gonna take half of that, so that the whole total thing will probably be 1 ounce, the total. But that's about what my Beamwing airplane, 40 ounce airplane spars weighed, 1 ounce out of white pine, so.
what pound wood is that? That about 10-pound wood?
Ah,
Is that good wood?
yeah, 1 ounce for 1/8 inch, 4 by 36, that's 28 grams. I mean, it could be lighter. I've seen it 23 to 25 grams, but this is not 10-pound wood, or,
Oh, you meant it was 1 ounce for that whole piece of wood.
right,
I was just going by your spar, and it would be a whole piece of wood, basically.
right. I'm gonna cut this much off both pieces and cut that in half. So this is probably gonna be a little less than half an ounce, and you double that, and it'll be 1 ounce.
Yeah.
That's decent weight for a spar. I mean, it's not as light as 2 3/16 soft pieces, but I'm doing something different here. I'm figuring that this wing will be probably 1.5 ounces heavier, so
Yep.
it'll be a 5, 6, about 7, up to 7 ounce wing without the bell crank and flap. But it beats the crap out of 10 ounces. But I will have my foam leading edge, none of that whoopee looking crap.
Right.
I got my silk span already.
You get light.
2 things of light and 1 thing of medium. One package of medium will cover the wings, and the light will do everything else, because I can't get the Jap tissue. I looked for Japanese tissue on Amazon, and well, what they have is tissue for packaging.
It's called Kaz. You could actually talk to him.
No speak English, Banzai!
He speaks English plenty good enough. You could talk to him and say, hey.
Probably cost me 80,000 yen
Go
per
down
sheet.
and look at Mama San's house down there and see what she's got in
Yeah,
there.
rip off some of her lamps.
There's got to be some door panels down there somewhere that are 36 inches by
Take your
24.
X-Acto knife and go, rip, rip, fold it up, put it in an envelope, and mail it to me.
Oops. Sorry, Lefty bugs in. You got a fuselage plan for that, huh?
Yeah.
Department?
Yeah.
Check that out and see how tall it is from the top of the wing to the top of the canopy. These aren't really super scale, but they're pretty close to a profile view.
This is cartoon scale.
Well, you got to think that the wing's about 3 times thicker than what it should be for a scale airplane. So compensate for that. Look at how much wind you got on the top of the canopy at the top of the wing, and then go about it, 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch more than that.
I'm just gonna look online for some pictures of P-47s, real ones, and pilots.
Yeah.
See, you know, some World War II photos and see if I can compare the size of the man.
I mean, I just saw that picture just the other day. That's why I said something.
What I need to do is see a man standing next to the landing gear. Damn.
Not bad, right underneath there.
Because we know how tall the tires are. F-14 tires are huge.
Oh yeah,
They're about this big.
so our B-52 tires. I know them quite well.
How tall are they? Big one?
No, they're not that tall. They're only about chin high to me.
So F-14 tires are a little smaller.
They're about yay big around, and there's a bunch of them.
Now there's only 4 tires on F-14. 2 small ones in the front and 2 mains, and they're probably about that tall and that wide.
They got tires. B-52's got tires out on the wingtips.
Yeah, I know.
Look like they're real little teeny things, but they're really about that tall. They're knee tall.
All right, guys, if you care to join me later on, I'm going to be going home. I'm going to whip up some of this wing, work on it. Love you both. Okay, Greg, thanks.
Thanks, bud.
We'll see you from the house. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Bye.